In this video, I'm going to show you how you can build awesome freeform tables that make data analysis easy in Adobe Analytics. So freeform tables are the most used visualizations in Adobe Analytics. You can drag and drop dimensions, metrics, and more to quickly analyze your data and dig even deeper if you need. When you create a new project within Analysis Workspace, you'll see this window appear here, and you can simply click Freeform Table. Another way is to come here on the left-hand side, go to Visualizations. You see all the visualizations here, and you could just drag in Freeform Table. We only need one of these for now, so let's delete this one. And the first thing we want to do is give this table a name. So name it according to what you want to analyze. We're going to be interested in looking at product revenue. So we'll just rename this by clicking on it and then typing in product revenue. So the first thing we need to do now is look at a dimension. So a dimension is something that we want to ultimately measure. And for this one, we can just pull in product name. And you'll see now we've got all of the products that are available in our online store. What I want to do firstly is just filter out unspecified. So click that filter, come here and just untick that so that we're just seeing the product names and nothing else here. Next up, we need to look at our metrics. So what information do we want to find out about these different products? So if we're looking at a full analysis of products, I think we want to pull in product views, see how many visits are coming to these products, the amount of orders they've received, how much revenue they've generated, and lastly, let's take a look at the revenue per order or the average order value. So I think now we've got quite a good overview of these, so we can find out a lot of information now about each individual product just by looking at this table. And there's a couple of extra things we can do here. So firstly, we've sorted at the moment on product views. So this order here is purely done from the most product views to the least. You can click this little arrow here to just switch that round to going from the smallest to the largest. And then if you want to do it from sorting on any of these other options here, you can as well. So let's look at the product that gets the most revenue. So with about $14 million of revenue, we can see this product here is by far the top selling product for revenue. So this is a good one if you just want to give a nice overview to your manager or find out some top level information. But the beauty of freeform tables is that we can kind of customize this and dive even deeper. So firstly, one thing I like to do is look at conditional formatting. It just gives this another view and pulls out some extra analysis that I can show you now. So if you just hover over the metric that you want to look at, so if we look here at revenue per order, hit this settings gear, come down here, click conditional formatting, you'll now see these colors here. So basically the higher average order value or revenue per order that we have, the greener the bar, and the lower it is, the closer to red it appears. And what you'll notice when we hit that settings gear again, there are these different options within the conditional formatting. So we've just gone for auto-generated, but if for whatever reason you wanted to set some upper, mid, and lower limits, you could do that yourself. So effectively you could say, look, show me anything with an average order value of over $500 as the upper limit. And that will make everything that's over $500 look really green and really stand out. So it's all basically based on what your needs are. But if we click off this now, the way we can use this is to really identify products of interest. So maybe there's some products that get a good amount of orders, but very low revenue per order. So let's sort now on online orders. And interestingly, you can see that the third highest product here gets a really low revenue per order. But some of these other products around it, you can see they get a lot of orders, but also a very high revenue per order. So you can look at that in a few different ways. You know, number 3 here, you might say, when you're presenting this view saying, look how great it is the amount of orders we've received, you actually only get a small amount of revenue per order for that product. So maybe making that a hero product in a campaign isn't going to generate you great ROI. But on the flip side, promoting these jeans here, they get a lot of orders, but also a high amount of revenue per order. So if you wanted to do a Google ad campaign for that, you've got a lot of wiggle room here to try and drive even more sales and remain profitable. So let's say we want to kind of focus in on a certain product area. You can do that with filters. So if you just come here next to product name, you'll see this filter icon. So if we click on that, you can go to Show Advanced and you've got loads of different filter options here. For now, let's just say we want to just look at products that are jeans. So we can come here and go contains the phrase jeans. Hit apply. And now we're only looking at products here that are jeans. So if we want to do a marketing campaign focused on jeans, we can see here these 3 products are the ones that have returned. And clearly it is dominated by 2 products here. So if you're getting value out of this video at the moment, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe as well. So let's just take this filter off and go back to that main view. We can click the filter and then hit clear and then apply. And then now you can see we're back to our 166 products. So there's a few other things we can do again to dive even deeper now. We can pull in other dimensions on some of these products to just get greater insight into them. So for example, let's say we really like the look of these Burbank Hills jeans, but we want to see, is there any seasonality? We can come here, drag in month on top of jeans, and then now we'll get these same metrics that you see here, but by month. So you can see start of the year, really low in terms of product views and online orders. But as the year goes on, we're getting more orders, more views, and ultimately more revenue. So we can see this is a product that's really done well over time. But interestingly as well, the revenue per order has slightly dropped. So that's something we might want to look into and see if we can try and get that back up to these sort of 489 levels somehow. But we can kind of break this down even further. So let's say we like the look here of November and December. So let's say we want to just dig a bit deeper into that. Maybe we want to see where those orders are coming from. So if we go in here and type in cities, we can just drag cities now on top of December. And now we can see what that looks like. So instantly we can see San Jose in California is by far the biggest city for this product. So that there might feed some of your campaigns. You might look at that and say, okay, let me go all in on San Jose. If we're not doing a maximum amount of Google ads in that area, let's up our spend in that area. So let's just delete these breakdowns, go back to our initial view. So finally, you can filter further by pulling in certain segments. So you've got all your segments here. So let's say we wanted to look at product views and then how many of those product views are coming from search engines. So one way to do that is to pull in another product views metric. And then let's get this segment here, visits from search engines, pull that underneath this one. And that effectively adds a filter with that segment. So we can see we've had a total of 3.2 million product views this year. 852,000 of those have come from search engines. And then again here, you can start looking through and seeing which products seem to perform the best from search engines. And you can really do this through an unlimited amount of things. You could pull in visits from search engines onto online orders. And now we can just see the online orders from search engines. And the way you want to display this information is purely down to preference and how many metrics you have up here. So you can see at the moment, I've broken these down. So you have visits from search engines underneath product views, and then you have another product views metric here. But what you could do is flip it around a bit. So let's pull in visits from search engines here. And then what we can do is we can start dragging these underneath here. Let's delete that one. And all of a sudden you can see it looks so much neater. We've effectively got a group here of just visits from search engines. And we could pull in all these metrics again over here, and it will just be side by side. What does it look like with visits from search engines versus visits in total? And then just to neaten things up, if we want to pull in our conditional formatting again, we can see how does that vary from the different products. Freeform tables are great for showing the numbers, but if you want to tell a story through visualizations, click the link on the screen and watch my video about the top visualizations you need to use in Adobe Analytics. I'll see you in the next video.